Have you ever noticed how your body responds differently to certain foods now that you're past 60? Maybe you feel more sluggish after a meal that once used to give you energy, or perhaps you've had those quiet moments where you pause and think, why is my heart beating faster than usual? If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond are quietly dealing with symptoms that they don't even realize are linked to the foods they eat daily. It's easy to assume it's just age catching up, but the truth is, your diet might be silently putting strain on your heart. Now, I'm not here to scare you. In fact, just the opposite. I'm here to help you feel more in control of your health. To make sure that the choices you make every day are actually helping you, not hurting you. You see, the heart is one of the most forgiving organs in the body. It works tirelessly day and night, without asking for much in return. But after 60, it needs just a little more support. And the very first place to start offering that support? Your plate. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 foods that might seem innocent, maybe even healthy, but could actually be weakening your heart every single day. If you're someone who wants to feel more energetic, walk without getting winded, sleep better, and wake up with peace of mind knowing you're taking care of your most important muscle, then stick with me. Because this could change the way you feel in a matter of days. Let's begin with something most of us have in our kitchens right now. Something that's in our morning routine, in our favorite desserts, and even in foods we think are low-fat or diet-friendly. I'm talking about refined sugar, the white stuff. You may not be adding teaspoons of it to your tea anymore, but refined sugar is hiding in so many places. Bread, pasta sauces, yogurt, salad dressings, even crackers labeled as healthy. Now, here's the thing. Sugar gives you that quick burst of energy, that rush we all know. But what comes after? A crash, a drop. And behind the scenes, your blood sugar is spiking, your insulin is working overtime, and your arteries are slowly losing their flexibility. Over time, this leads to something called insulin resistance. And once that sets in, your risk of heart disease doubles, sometimes even triples. Think about that for a moment. Every spoon of sugar, every hidden gram in that flavored yogurt, is nudging your heart just a little bit closer to trouble. But there's good news. Cutting back even a little makes a huge difference. Switch your flavored yogurt to plain Greek yogurt and sweeten it with berries or a drizzle of honey. Instead of store-bought sauces, try making your own at home with tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil. It's not about giving up sweetness completely, it's about giving your heart the break it deserves. Now, let's talk about a food that seems healthy at first glance, but has a dark side most people over 60 aren't aware of: processed deli meats. You know what I'm talking about. That turkey slice you grabbed for a quick sandwich. The ham, the bologna, the salami. They're convenient, they're tasty, and they're marketed as a protein-packed snack. But they come with a price, especially for your heart. These meats are often packed with sodium. Not just a little, but sometimes more than half your daily limit in a single serving. And for a heart that's already doing its best to keep your blood pressure in check, all that sodium is like putting it on a treadmill with no rest. It makes your body retain water, increases the pressure in your arteries, and eventually forces your heart to work harder than it should. That's a recipe for high blood pressure, heart strain, and fatigue. And it doesn't stop there. Processed meats are full of nitrates and preservatives, chemicals that may increase your risk of arterial inflammation and heart disease. You may not feel it right away, but over the months and years, this slow buildup starts taking a toll. You deserve better than that. Instead of deli meats, go for fresh cuts of lean chicken, turkey, or fish. You can cook a batch, slice it, and keep it ready in the fridge. That way, you still get the convenience, but none of the hidden danger. And don't worry, your taste buds will adjust. In fact, they'll start craving the real flavors again, not just the salty, artificial stuff. Let's take a breath here. This isn't about making you feel guilty for your past choices. Not at all. It's about empowerment. It's about you taking charge of your health and realizing that small, intentional changes can truly make a difference. Because after 60, it's not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. And while we're on the subject of foods we think are doing us good, let's look at vegetable oils. Sounds healthy, right? They're made from vegetables, after all. But not all vegetable oils are created equal. In fact, many of the ones sitting on grocery store shelves, like corn oil, soybean oil, and sunflower oil, are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, your body does need omega-6, but the problem is we're getting way too much of it, and not enough omega-3. When this balance is off, it creates inflammation. And chronic inflammation is like a slow burn inside your body, damaging your arteries, making it easier for plaque to form, and increasing your risk of heart disease. You might not notice it day to day, but your heart certainly does. Switching to heart-healthy oils can make a world of difference. Try extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil instead. These oils are rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that actually protect your heart. A drizzle over your salad, a spoonful in your stir-fry, or a splash in your soup. That's all it takes. Now, I know we've covered a lot already, from sugar to deli meats to unhealthy oils. And if your kitchen is starting to feel like a minefield, take a deep breath. You're not alone. The good news is that knowledge is power, and you're taking the first step toward feeling better, stronger, and more energized just by being here, watching this. So now that we've uncovered some of the common foods that might be sneaking their way into your meals and slowly weighing down your heart, let's keep going, because this next one might surprise you. It's something many of us grew up loving, and even now, we might turn to it for a quick breakfast or snack. I'm talking about pastries, cakes, muffins, and all those baked goods that line the supermarket shelves with tempting scents and soft textures. Now, don't get me wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying a sweet treat once in a while. Life should be enjoyed, not endured. But the issue comes when those treats become a daily habit. You see, these baked goods are often loaded with something called trans fats. These are artificial fats created to make food last longer on shelves and give it that irresistible flaky texture. But here's the kicker. Trans fats are one of the worst things you can put into your body, especially after 60. They don't just raise your bad cholesterol. They lower your good cholesterol. That's a double whammy. Your arteries get stiffer, your circulation slows, and your heart has to push harder to do its job. Over time, this silent pressure builds up and can lead to real trouble, chest pain, shortness of breath, or worse. And yet, the food industry hides trans fats under different names like partially hydrogenated oils. So even if the label says 0G trans fat, it could still be in there, just under the radar. That's why it's so important to read ingredients, not just the nutrition label. If you see anything hydrogenated, that's your red flag. The good news? You don't have to give up baked goods entirely. Try making your own at home with heart-healthy oils and natural sweeteners. Use oats instead of refined flour, bananas or applesauce instead of butter. You'll still get the comfort of a warm muffin or a soft cookie, but with ingredients your heart can smile about. Now, let's shift our focus to a category of food that feels harmless at first glance: frozen meals. I know how convenient they can be. After a long day, or when you're simply not in the mood to cook, popping a ready-made meal into the microwave sounds like a blessing. But here's the truth. Most of these meals are loaded with sodium, preservatives, and unhealthy fats. It's like a heart hazard wrapped in plastic. Think about it. These meals are designed to sit in freezers for months, sometimes years. To do that, manufacturers pump them full of chemicals to preserve flavor and appearance. And the portion sizes may look small, but the salt content? It's often through the roof. You might be eating 70 to 80% of your daily recommended sodium in just one meal, and that's not even counting breakfast and lunch. When your sodium intake is constantly high, it causes your body to retain water. That leads to swelling in the feet and ankles, something many seniors think is just normal aging, but often it's your body screaming for help. More water in your system means your heart has to work harder to pump blood through constricted vessels, increasing blood pressure and straining your entire circulatory system. Here's a simple switch: batch cook once or twice a week. Make a big pot of soup or stew using fresh veggies, lean meats, beans, and heart-healthy herbs. Divide it into portions and freeze them yourself. That way, you're still getting the convenience, but with all the care and none of the chemicals. I want you to pause for a moment and reflect, not with guilt, but with awareness. The foods we've talked about so far are so common, so normal, that most people never even question them. But you're not most people. You're someone who's decided to take control, someone who wants to feel better, move better, and live better. And that makes all the difference. It's easy to think, I've eaten this way for decades. What's the point in changing now? But that mindset couldn't be further from the truth. The human body is incredibly resilient, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. When you start giving it the right fuel, you'll be amazed at how quickly it responds. More energy, less swelling, better sleep, a clearer mind. These aren't just hopes, they're real results. And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, that's okay too. Change doesn't have to happen all at once. You don't have to clean out your pantry tonight or swear off your favorite foods forever. Just start small. Pick one thing. Maybe it's switching from vegetable oil to olive oil. Maybe it's swapping the store-bought pastry for a bowl of oatmeal with berries. Whatever it is, do it with intention. Do it for your heart. Because every bite you take is a message to your body. It's either saying, let's heal, or let's harm. You have the power to choose healing. You have the power to give your heart the love and care it's given you all these years. And speaking of love and care, we're not done just yet. There's one more food we need to talk about, one that's often hiding in plain sight. It's in your favorite crackers, your sandwich bread, even in breakfast cereals that claim to be heart healthy. We'll dive into that next, and trust me, it's one you won't want to miss. Let's keep going, because this next one might seem harmless. It might even be in your kitchen right now, sitting quietly in your pantry or fridge. It doesn't shout for attention, it doesn't smell strange or look unhealthy. But for many people over 60, it's one of the sneakiest culprits when it comes to heart strain: refined white bread and ultra-processed carbs. Now, here's the thing. Bread itself isn't evil. In fact, whole grains can be incredibly supportive of heart health. But most of the bread you find in grocery stores, especially the ones that are soft, fluffy, and last forever on the shelf, are made from refined white flour. That means all the fiber, nutrients, and heart-friendly benefits have been stripped away, leaving you with a loaf that's basically sugar in disguise. And when you eat these refined carbs, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. That sudden spike forces your pancreas to pump out insulin, which over time can lead to insulin resistance, a major risk factor for heart disease. But it doesn't stop there. These blood sugar highs are followed by sharp crashes, leaving you tired, foggy, and craving more sugar. It's a vicious cycle. What's worse is that these foods often contain added sugars and preservatives. You might think you're just having a slice of toast, but what you're actually consuming is a cocktail of ingredients that put stress on your heart and make it work harder than it should. The solution? Transition to real, Whole grain breads. Look for labels that say 100% whole wheat or whole grain as the first ingredient. Even better, try sprouted grain breads or those made from oats or rye. These not only keep your blood sugar stable, but they also contain fiber that helps lower cholesterol naturally. And here's a trick. If you press your bread and it instantly flattens like a pancake, it's likely made with refined flour and has very little nutritional value. But if it's dense, a little chewy, and stays firm, chances are it's working for your heart, not against it. Now, let's talk about one of the most commonly consumed foods that many people over 60 think of as healthy, yet it could be doing serious harm: processed deli meats. I know, they're convenient. Just a few slices of ham or turkey in a sandwich, and lunch is ready. But those slices come with a price. Deli meats, things like salami, bologna, pastrami, turkey breast from a package, are full of sodium, nitrates, and preservatives. These additives are what give the meat its long shelf life and pink color. But inside your body, they trigger inflammation. That inflammation can irritate the walls of your blood vessels, making them stiffer and more prone to plaque buildup. And once plaque starts building up, your risk for a heart attack or stroke goes up significantly. Even low-fat or lean options can still contain high levels of sodium, enough to quietly damage your heart over time without you even realizing it. And if you've ever felt a tightness in your chest after eating, or noticed your blood pressure creeping up, this could be one of the hidden culprits. Here's a gentle suggestion. Instead of relying on packaged deli meats, try roasted chicken or turkey breast that you cook yourself. Season it with heart-healthy herbs like rosemary, thyme, or turmeric, which not only taste great but actually help reduce inflammation. You can slice and store these yourself for sandwiches or salads, giving you control over the salt and fat content. And don't forget, beans, lentils, and eggs also make great protein sources for lunch. They're gentle on the heart and rich in nutrients that support muscle strength, brain function, and circulation. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a day where you felt more tired than usual, even though you didn't do anything particularly exhausting? Or maybe your hands or feet felt a little swollen, or your heart just didn't feel quite right. Sometimes, it's not the big things we do, but the small things we repeat every day that add up and cause these subtle warning signs. That's what this conversation is really about. Not fear, not guilt, just awareness. Because once you know what these foods are doing to your body, you get to make better choices. Not perfect ones, just better. And better choices, done consistently, bring results. Real, visible, life-changing results. You might already be thinking about the foods in your kitchen right now, maybe wondering if a few of these silent offenders are hiding there. That's a good thing. That curiosity, that willingness to learn and adjust, that's the first sign of true strength. And trust me, no matter your age, your heart can absolutely respond to that kind of care. I want you to know that it's never too late to reclaim your energy, your confidence, and your health. What you do today, this week, this month, it matters. It stacks up. The foods you choose aren't just filling your plate. They're shaping your future. We've covered a lot already, but there's still one more food left to talk about, and it might just be the most misunderstood of them all. It's in your favorite takeout meals, in your sauces, in your chips and snacks. And it's silently adding strain to your heart with every bite. Let's keep going and shine a light on that final piece of the puzzle. Let's take a deep breath and dive into the final food on our list, the one that hides in plain sight. It's not flashy, it doesn't always taste salty, and you'd never guess it was quietly overworking your heart every single day. I'm talking about industrial seed oils like soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, and vegetable oil. Now, I get it. For decades, we were told these oils were the healthy option. Low in saturated fat, cheap, and great for cooking. They're in everything from salad dressings to packaged snacks to fried foods. And because they don't have a strong flavor, they slip into our meals unnoticed. But here's what most people don't realize. These oils are highly refined, and the way they're processed strips away nearly all nutrients. Worse, it creates unstable molecules that oxidize easily in your body. That oxidation leads to inflammation, which damages blood vessels and contributes to the hardening of arteries. For someone over 60, your heart has already worked hard for decades. The last thing it needs is a constant barrage of inflammatory oils making it pump harder, stiffening your arteries, and raising your risk for heart failure, stroke, or arrhythmias. And here's something that might surprise you. Even foods that are marketed as healthy often contain these oils. That granola bar? That store-bought hummus? That bottle of light salad dressing? They're often packed with canola or soybean oil. It's become almost impossible to avoid unless you're really paying attention. So what can you do? The good news is there are much better options, oils that actually support your heart. Olive oil, especially extra virgin, is a powerhouse. It's full of antioxidants and healthy fats that reduce inflammation and improve cholesterol levels. Avocado oil is another great choice. It's stable at high heat and gentle on your arteries. Even small amounts of coconut oil, when used appropriately, can offer benefits without causing the oxidative stress that seed oils do. Next time you're cooking or shopping, take an extra moment to read the labels. If you see vegetable oil, soybean oil, or canola oil listed in the ingredients, try to find an alternative. Your heart doesn't need more stress. It needs support, kindness, and nourishment. Now, I know all this might feel like a lot. You might be thinking, how can I possibly cut out all of these foods at once? And that's completely understandable. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. Because every small change you make, swapping deli meat for roasted chicken, trading white bread for whole grains, choosing olive oil over canola, that's one more step in the right direction. It's one more step toward a stronger heart, more energy, clearer thinking, and a body that feels more like you again. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, well, I've already eaten like this for years. What difference will it make now? But let me tell you something powerful. Your body is always listening. It never stops working to protect you. Even now, at 60, 70, or 80, it responds to care, to healing, and to change. There are countless seniors out there who've reversed high blood pressure, lowered cholesterol, reduced their risk of heart attack, and even regained stamina, just by making a few consistent changes to what's on their plate. And here's the beauty of it. It's not about restriction. It's about replacement. You're not giving up flavor. You're discovering real flavor. You're not saying no to meals you enjoy. You're learning how to enjoy them in a way that supports your heart, your energy, and your future. Imagine waking up in the morning with more energy, less swelling in your feet, more confidence in your step, and fewer medications on your shelf. That's the path you start walking the moment you say no to these 5 harmful foods and start saying yes to your health. You might even inspire someone else, your spouse, your children, your neighbors, just by making small, powerful changes. You don't need to shout it from the rooftops. You just need to live it. And believe me, people notice when someone starts glowing from the inside out. Now, before we wrap up this part of our conversation, let me leave you with something simple and important. Your heart is not just a muscle. It's the rhythm of your life. It carries your emotions, your memories, your strength, and your love. It deserves the best care you can give it. And caring for it doesn't mean fear. It means choice. And every bite, every sip, every step, those choices add up. You have the power to shape your future, to rewrite your story, and to prove to yourself that age is not a limitation. It's an invitation. An invitation to be wiser, stronger, and more intentional than ever before. So take that power back. Look in your pantry. Read those labels. Ask questions. And most importantly, trust that even if change feels small right now, the results will be anything but small. Because your heart is listening, and it's ready to beat stronger for the years ahead. When you're ready, let's move forward together and wrap up everything we've learned with one final, uplifting message. So here we are, standing at the end of this important conversation. You've taken in a lot today, some hard truths, some surprising insights, and hopefully, a new perspective on what your body truly needs at this stage of life. And if you've stuck with me this far, I want you to know how proud I am of you. Because change, real change, starts with awareness. And now that you're aware of these 5 silent threats on your plate, you're already on the path to something better. Let's take a moment and think about why this truly matters. Your heart isn't just pumping blood. It's keeping you connected to every moment that brings joy, peace, and meaning to your life. Whether it's laughing with your grandchildren, taking a quiet morning walk, or simply sitting in your favorite chair with a good book, your heart makes all of that possible. And it deserves to be protected, not just from illness, but from habits that don't serve you anymore. The foods we've talked about, processed meats, refined carbs, sugary snacks and drinks, excessive salt, and seed oils, they've snuck into everyday life so quietly, so commonly, that it's easy to forget they're even there. But make no mistake, they're doing damage, especially as we grow older. They work slowly, silently, building plaque in your arteries, raising your blood pressure, weakening the strength and rhythm of your heartbeat. But here's the truth no one tells you. You're not stuck. No matter how long you've been eating a certain way, no matter what your blood test said last month, or how many pills line your bathroom shelf, you can begin a new chapter today. And the changes don't have to be drastic or overwhelming. Start by removing just one thing. Maybe you stop buying deli meats this week. Maybe you switch your cooking oil from canola to olive. Maybe you cut back on the packaged sweets and try fresh fruit with a little cinnamon instead. Small steps. But when done consistently, they create a ripple effect that touches every part of your health. And as your heart starts to thank you, through better energy, lower blood pressure, easier breathing, you'll feel it. You'll know in your bones that you're doing something good, something powerful, something that future you will be deeply grateful for. Let's not forget the emotional side of this journey, either. Food isn't just fuel, it's memories, comfort, connection. Some of the things we're talking about letting go of might be tied to decades of habits, family traditions, or even moments of loneliness. And that's okay. Give yourself grace. This isn't about guilt or shame. It's about freedom. It's about choosing what lifts you up instead of what weighs you down. And you don't have to walk this path alone. Start a conversation with your spouse or a friend. Share what you've learned. Support each other. Maybe even challenge each other to make one healthy swap a week. You'd be amazed at how much easier and more enjoyable this gets when you're not doing it alone. You can even talk to your doctor or nutritionist and ask them to help you build a heart-smart plan that works for you. You're not just a number on a chart. You're a unique person with your own story, your own rhythm, and your own goals. So advocate for yourself. Ask the right questions. Don't settle for, "This is just what happens at your age." Because it's not. Decline is not inevitable. Aging can be graceful, powerful, and full of vitality. I've seen it happen. Seniors who once struggled to climb a flight of stairs now walking daily in the park. Grandparents who used to feel tired by noon now playing joyfully with their grandkids well into the evening. People just like you who simply decided to change and watch their entire life shift for the better. And if you ever feel discouraged, like the road is too long or the habits too hard to break, just remind yourself, this isn't about perfection. It's about direction. Each better choice you make is like a vote for the future you want. And those votes add up. They become your new normal. Maybe the most beautiful thing about this journey is the message it sends, not just to your heart, but to your mind and soul. That you are still worth the effort. That your best days may very well be ahead of you. That at 60, 70, 80, you're not fading, you're evolving. And that's what Health Refresh is all about. It's not just about diet or fitness. It's about reigniting your relationship with life, rebuilding confidence, rediscovering joy, and realizing that with the right knowledge, support, and mindset, you can be your strongest, healthiest self starting now. So if something in today's video spoke to you, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us what change you're planning to make first. Let us cheer you on. Because this is more than a channel, it's a community. And every single viewer is part of that. If this video helped you in any way, don't forget to like it. It helps others find this message. And if you want more heart-smart tips, daily motivation, and practical advice tailored just for seniors, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. You've got this. Your heart is strong, and your will is stronger. And the best part? You're just getting started. Here's to living your best life. Vibrant, joyful, and full of heart at any age.